we live in an environment that extracts our data. So you'll hear terms like data harvesting as being a dominant way of understanding what's going on. And lots of the main corporations that we see, the big tech firms that have now become the biggest companies in the world, their business models are based upon their ability to extract and use the data about us. This can be data about our consumption practices, so transactional data, which can come in things like loyalty cards. But most of our transactions are now online, so it's easy to accumulate data about the things that we buy, the things that we consume. And then the things that we watch, the things we listen to, these things all become data sources that can be used to analyse us and then to target us or to try to shape the way that we behave on lots of different fronts. Now, the data about us is massive. There are huge amounts of data points on each individual that's extracted not just from our transactions but from our interactions in social media, the things that we like, the things that we share, the things that we respond to. But also there's a massive amount of data that just accumulates through things like our use of our smartphones, which captures not just what we're doing but where we are, who we're interacting with, how we're doing it, for how long, what we're consuming. So virtually everything that we do is captured in data. And that means that that data can be analysed. There's a huge data analytics industry that's emerged over recent years. One famous example is Cambridge Analytica from recent years and the stories about the political use of data. There's a huge data analytics industry. Most of the organisations are nothing like Cambridge Analytica, but are still seeking to get as much data about us as possible so that they can shape our behaviours in lots of different ways. So there's a huge politics of data that's now emerging. A politics of data that's aimed at trying to know us in granular detail, to know as much about us as possible so that information can be analysed to try to push us towards certain decision making and certain practices and certain outcomes that are preferable to those that hold the data. So that data analytics industry has become extremely powerful in recent years. If we take football as an example, from the 1990s onwards, a huge data analytics industry has emerged within football, aimed at analysing the game, aimed at analysing the players on lots of different fronts. So what happens is those players start to respond to the data about them. They start to think about how they could change the game in order to be better and have better data. Pass completion rate has become a dominant set of data within the sport, and people aim toward completed passes rather than taking risks. And one of the questions we might ask ourselves is whether the accumulation of data about us is pushing us towards the equivalent of safe sideways passes in a lot of what we do.